Hey there, I'm Theo Vaughn, and welcome to Allegedly. Now, I'm not with my co-host Matthew Cole Weiss at the moment, but he'll be here. He's going to be jumping into this episode because this episode is a special gift to you guys. It's a Happy New Year's type of episode, and we want to wish you a Happy New Year by revisiting moments, the best of moments from this previous year. Actually, year and a quarter. Since our podcast has been in existence for that long, we're going to go that full year and a quarter, and we're going to draw the best moments out. And we're going to pop in and out of them. You're going to love it. There's some of our absolute favorites, some of your favorites. So we hope you love it. We love you guys. We appreciate the support. And this is going to be the best of Allegedly from 2016 and a little bit of 2015. So thank you so much. We love you. And now, let's get to the episode. On behalf of myself and Matthew Cole Weiss, this is The Best Of. With guest David Faustino talking about George Harrison and Christina Applegate.
But I was in New York once, and but this goes against the story because this was a guy talking about Christina. But I'm walking through New York, everybody's just shouting. When you're famous in New York, it's the best experience because everyone's just yelling shit at you. You know what I mean? And you're just like, hey, blah. So I remember this guy's walking past me. And this black dude, he's walking past me, and he's like, hey, bud. I was like, well, he goes, oh, man. Oh, you're Christina Applegate, your sister, man. I want to tap that. You tell, and you could tell he was going to say, you tell her I want to fuck her. You tell her I want to, and he paused. He's like, you tell her I want to eat her ass. And he like yelled it as loud as he could in the middle of the street.
Did you relay the message?
Well, no. The message I did relay to her is when the Beatle, I can't remember. George Harrison told me that he would have liked to eat her pussy.
Oh, wow.
And to tell her that she's probably never met a clit-licking Beatle before. And that's a true story.
Is that a true story?
That's an absolute true story, yes. He was a giant Married with Children fan, which was to find that out, you know what I mean? To like meet George Harrison and be like nervous as shit. And then to find out like he's this giant fan of Married with Children was just surreal, you know?
And that he's a pussy-licking
and that he's
Beatle.
a clit-licking Beatle. You tell her that I want to eat her pussy. And I said when I left, I just made another alluded to it again, saying I'm gonna let her know. He goes, yeah. You let her know. I bet she's never met a clit-licking Beatle before.
Wow.
So I literally, because I did have work the very next day, so I went in and I sat. We were all sitting on the little Bundy couch on the set, and I told the whole cast the story that morning, and they were just like, Christina was just like red faced. They were just cracking up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, you win the story.
He's the quiet, shy Beatle. That's what they call him. Yeah.
Wow, you win the story round.
With Jamie Kennedy talking about Fran Drescher.
Well, I want to ask this, though. Tell me about a cougar that's hit on you at some point.
I mean, dude, we all have cougars hit on us.
There's got to be a sweet coug in town that fucking ranking up the JK, though.
Like a famous coug?
Yeah, there's got to be one, man.
I have
yes,
I have a story, but I don't want to get in trouble.
Come on.
But
Can't get in
this
trouble
is,
anymore.
I don't care. So, all right, so.
You couldn't get in any more trouble.
I mean, I know, right? She should laugh at this. So, see if she remembers this. She won't even hear this podcast. Cut to. So, I'm starting to do well. You know, I'm doing really well. And at one time, I was starring in a movie. And I was producing 3 shows.
Wow.
So, for the WB. And so, I was producing a show called Living with Fran. And it was based on my experiences coming up with a comedian named Dave Garrett. And the woman had these 2 sons that were older than us, and she was having sex with him. And I lived in the closet, Matt. And I literally lived. And so this woman in Westwood let us live there. And we're struggling comedians. And he was he was going to law school, and he did all our deals. I'm like, not literally. Like we would go with Tommy Rome. He's like, all right, he gets 2 plates of ribs. She'll do 20 minutes. Pay some gas. Like that was like our early lawyer, right?
Wow.
And so, long story short is, we hire Fran Drescher, and she's a powerhouse, And so I'm trying to think of the so she's hired as an actress, and eventually, she brings in her writer Frank. She's like, I got it. I'm trying to do her accent. Yeah, hi, baby. She's like, I gotta have Frank. So she brings Frank, who's like written on The Nanny and all this stuff, and Frank's a great guy. So then we go, and then like as we're doing this, she hires an actress, and then like I hear that like Fran now she wants something in the writer's room. And then she like took her little dressing room and made it fucking velvet. I'm not kidding.
Right.
Wow.
All velvet, like leopard velvet. Like it's not a character. It was literally, and it was like really comfy. And she's really sweet. She, to this day, I have a Burberry passport cover because of her.
Oh.
So anyway, she's
know
like,
this.
and so she goes, come out to Malibu. She's a great house there. And she says, I want to talk to you. I'm trying to do the accent. I can't remember it. And I said, okay. So we go out to Malibu, and it was like before what Nobu was now. And it was like tucked away. And we were just drinking and fucking, okay, honey. All right. And then we was talking, and she goes, the show really needs my input. And I was like, okay. And she goes, it'd be really good if I could be like an executive producer. And she's like, more eel? And I was like eating the eel and like sake. And I'm like, well, Fran, the deal is, because I know that it's got to come out of somebody's end.
Yeah.
And no one is fucking giving up their end. Everyone's like, yo, she's going to hit you up for EP credit. It's out of your ass. And I'm like, no. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, I'm like, well. So then we fucking eat. And I'm pretty toasted, right? So then we get in our car, and it's like, oh, fucking, I remember like a dope Mercedes. I mean, we drive, and she's like literally has a dope house on PCH. I'm like, you pass it all the time. You just don't know it, and it's like sneaky. It's like one little door, but then it just goes down, and it's like
Gigantic palatial.
It's just like Europe.
it's dope, right? And she's like, you really like that sake. And I was like, I did. It was really like being a high, but you're not drunk. She's like, yeah, honey. And it's like 6 dogs. She's like, Mr. Whiskas, come here. And it's like leopard. She opens up her fucking refrigerator, and what's in there? I'm not kidding. Like it was 100 bottles of fucking sake. Like she's known. And I'm like, what the fuck? She goes, yeah, honey, I get it for free. They want me to do it in an ad. But I felt like we were placed. It was the same fucking sake that Nobu had at this fucking place.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh. So then what do? We open up another bottle of sake. And so we're there, and it's like, I had just, I was doing all right. I was running through a few things, and I was like, the last thing I wanted to do at this time, I was be tied down to any girlfriend.
Yeah.
So I was like, And so she's like, EP, I did it on CBS. I did it on other things. I'm a good EP. And she's walking towards me. She goes, I'm a good EP. You can't see what I'm doing right now.
He's just rubbing his
but
chest.
you guys can describe. And she's like, yeah, I know how to produce. And as she's doing it, like the fucking like shawl, like she was in a shawl. And then that came off.
Yeah.
And then like
I'm shoving out.
and then like, but she's great, but she's like my, like my Jewish aunt, and I'm not a Jew, and but I have aunts, but she's she's sexy,
Yeah.
And she's like, but yeah, and she's like, as she's just like, I could really produce, and as the more she's talking about producing, the more I'm like hemming and hawing. Well, there's that's top heavy, and there's 4, and like another piece of clothing came off. And then
she owned the show.
and then like literally there was like a moment. This is kind of like a mad ending where it was like, God, can I say this? So she's just sweet, and I knew I couldn't not shit where I was eating.
Yes,
because
exactly.
she was a star, and I respect her, and she's hilarious, and I hope she doesn't hear this. In this day and age, no one will ever hear this. And
Thanks for the
Mom will listen.
no, it will. And she was basically it was like the reverse thing of like the reverse casting couch. And then I was like looking, and I was like, can I do this? Am I gonna do this if I fucking do this?
And you were
Like,
wasted.
I was deep sake.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and I just said, I can't I can't do it. And I didn't do it. She's like, what do you mean? What's going on? And I don't know how to, there was something I just couldn't do it. And it was,
Do you regret it to this day?
No,
Okay.
she was always nice to me, and I thought this would be an interesting story.
Did she get an EP credit?
She ended up somehow getting some kind of EP anyway without the
So if
bang.
it didn't work
maybe
with-
she wanted to.
If it didn't work with you, it might have worked with someone else.
Maybe it did, but she's probably gonna hate me now. But
look, it was top heavy. It was definitely top heavy.
It was top heavy show.
There you go.
And she wanted, and I just remember I was like, if I do this, then I'm gonna, I was the victim.
It's hard.
I was the victim because then I thought if I do that, you fucking friend,
Right.
Hey, you give me credit.
Now, my question.
That's early feminism too.
Oh boy.
There was a time period you started.
But a hot chick, a hot woman.
Oh yeah, I saw her recently, and I honestly would have at least probably felt myself in my car to her.
Wow.
Well, that's what a compliment.
Man, last night I watched Socially Unacceptable with Joey Diaz. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's a hilarious new comedy special. It's the best. Joey's a real comedian, guys. He's no jokes, no frills. I mean, jokes, but I mean, he's like he's a human being, You get to know him. You're not just hearing some riddles. And I saw it on Seeso. I don't know if you've been, SEESO.com. It's the new ad-free streaming service bringing you hilarious original series. Weeks of stand-up specials, as much stand-up as you could want from comedians that you've heard of and some that you haven't. You want to learn a new artist? You tired of the same old artists? Well, then make a change and check out some new ones. It has bingeable comedy anytime, anywhere. It has every episode of SNL ever, including the new episodes the day after they air. So you didn't see it last night? It's Sunday. You wondering what happened on SNL? Everybody's talking. Check it out. Right there. It also has The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and Late Night with Seth Meyers the day after they air. So you can see the full episodes. They even have classics like 30 Rock, Parks and Rec, and Saved by the Bell. When you wake up in the morning and you better never make it on time. They even have British comedies. I don't like the British, so those aren't for me, but they might be for you. They do have the original Office, The Office with Ricky Gervais. If you've never seen that season, that's the one that spurned the Great American series. You want to check it out, man. You'll want to check it out. They have bajillion-dollar properties from the minds of Reno 911 and Comedy Bang Bang. Bajillion-dollar properties. It's basically like a play on like those $1 Million Property shows. So if you and your wife or you or your animal loves those shows, you'll love it. They're on Seeso, SEESO.com. And right now, our allegedly listeners can try Seeso free for 2 months when they use promo code Theo at checkout. That's right, promo code Theo, THEO, at checkout. Just go to Seeso.com right now to sign up for 2 free months with promo code Theo at checkout. That's Seeso.com, promo code Theo. You're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. Hours of stand-up specials. It's ad-free. You get a month, 2 months free from us, and it's only $3.99 after that. $4. You got a whole new amazing channel filled with content that you're going to love. All right, now, let's get back to the best of. With guest Zachary Ty Bryan talking about wanting to hook up with his TV mom. Hubba hubba.
Okay, so bro, like obviously, so I mean, I grew up on watching Home Improvement, and it's just been an icon, staple in so many people's existence. Did Patricia Richardson, was she kind of ever milfy to you at all? Were you ever like, because you had to be going through puberty, and here was like this pretty lady,
Yeah, she absolutely was.
Yeah, because I remember I had a huge crush on my neighbor's mom, and like I didn't even know what a crush was, and next thing you know, I just like wanted to like be next to this lady with my crotch.
So she was like Stifler's mom before Stifler's mom.
She was. It's funny. She was absolutely was. I actually just met with her last Friday, at the Jonathan Club. She's running for SAG-AFTRA president.
Oh, wow.
She's
and I got my ballots, actually. I'm going to make sure to vote for her.
Yeah, she's great. She's part of the MF party, and they're really...
Did you say MILF?
No, MF. Yeah, MIL. Well, just checking. According to me,
that's a witty
I'm going to vote for
her. Yeah, but so anyways, I actually was... we were sitting down, and we were just, shooting the shit, talking about... She was talking about running, and she wanted me to endorse her and whatnot, and I actually I got the balls to tell her, and I was like, actually, back in the day, because we're working on this show right now, Jonathan, JTT, and I, and actually this would be one of the episodes. Anyways, yes, it's so ironic you asked that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She like more than Pamela and Debbie, like more than the Tool girls.
I'm sure because she was right there all the time.
And the more motherly she was,
Yes.
the hotter she became.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's mom.
And I think this is very normal for adolescents.
100%.
Yeah.
Well,
and
that's
I'd actually like to explore this with a therapist and just to get their
I was going to
take
say
on
that's
it.
a little bit of mother issues. A little bit.
So,
Well, when you put any kind of sexuality onto someone who acts motherly towards you, then that's a mother issue. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that
No.
it's part of the
Maybe it's
Freudian
part-
psychology.
I'd like to actually talk to
Yeah,
somebody.
completely.
Because, I mean, my mother and I have a wonderful relationship. I don't think anything bad's ever.
it's nothing like you and Patricia Richardson.
Yeah.
But yes, the
I
answer
could
is
totally
yes.
see that because you were going through that time in your life. Like you went through puberty, probably a lot of those feelings aroused while you're on that show. I mean, I can't. I'm sure I sometime pleasured myself to the idea of Patricia Richardson. You know?
Well, I can tell you I did not.
Oh, whatever.
I can say that for 100%.
It was
Because
a
he's a-
total like young. I mean, it never was like obsession or anything. But it was definitely, you know how you always, like you said, you always had like that friend's mom that was super cute or whatever. I did definitely thought she was hot.
Yeah.
Wow.
in a odd way.
Good question.
That was a very interesting. I've never been asked that.
Well, I remember I used to go in my buddy's mom's closet and I would
dress up.
smell her sweaters. I remember.
Oh my god.
I was just a kid.
Never done that. Okay. But that's awesome.
Playing Guess the STD with guest Dr. Drew.
Specific mini competition is Dr. Drew here is going to give us symptoms of a STD. And
Just one? I do a whole series.
You do a couple.
We'll do a few.
And then we'll see. Theo and I have to guess what it is.
I'll do a bunch of them.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, good.
You come in, your partner's got gonorrhea. You haven't had sex with her. She hasn't been cheating. What do you have?
You come in. Your partner has got a.
You come inside.
You
your
can,
partner.
no. You come into me with your partner.
Oh, you come in with a
You
partner.
come with me, and you're like, I don't know what's going on. She has gonorrhea, and
We haven't been having sex.
She and I have not been having intercourse. We've not been having intercourse. I promise you. And of course, doctors, we always go, yeah, they're lying. They're lying. That's what we assume always.
Right.
But you not. It's for a fact. Not intercourse. You get around a little bit yourself.
And you have something. So this guy has something.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll say yes. You have something.
Okay.
What do you have?
The guy has.
The clap.
Where? Well, because she has the clap. She has gonorrhea.
Oh, the
is
gonorrhea is the clap?
Yeah.
Wait,
guy
is
has
gonorrhea chlamydia?
No, well, clap is really gonorrhea classically.
Oh,
But
I didn't know
the
that.
guy has oral gonorrhea.
Yes. There you
What?
go. What I do. That's what he's got. And it has no. And oral gonorrhea has no symptoms.
Oh, so
You
then.
don't know you have it.
What
So,
about even bad breath?
typically no symptoms.
So then what? Wow.
All right,
okay.
So all right.
Doctor, you have to come out with a gum for
you,
that.
you come in. you come to me. You
Okay.
All right, one for you.
You resist coming to doctors. You hate going to doctors, which is all guys. And you have a rash on your palms. It's a very strange rash, red blotchy rash on your palms. And you've noticed some lymph nodes swollen up on your arm here and there. And but the rash is fading, so you almost didn't make your appointment. So
It's not. Is it? It's not just friction from over
No,
masturbation.
it's not. It's on both hands. It's symmetric, and it's a
Okay.
rash. It is a rash. It's maybe a little bit on your feet too.
Okay. Okay.
You have both hands,
I'll
some on
get-
your feet, and it's fading.
It's fading, and maybe you're trying to remember, and you think maybe you had a sore on your penis, but it didn't hurt or anything. So it went away. It's no big deal. So I didn't come in for that.
I love that you're really playing the part. I love it. Okay.
It's
I'll keep going.
Yeah.
You did
Syphilis.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yes, I knew it on the top of my. I knew it.
Well done.
you do it on the top of your what?
It was on the tip of my.
Where his chancre was. Chancre is a painless ulcer that goes away. Most people don't get. The ulcer occurs usually at the point of contact, goes away, and then you get secondary syphilis, which is typically a rash. And the rash, and there can be gummas, there can be other things that can have developed, and then that goes away, and then a certain percentage of people get something called tertiary syphilis, where it gets into your cerebral spinal fluid and eats your brain.
No way.
Oh.
So if you meet a real dumb chick, she could have that, or dumb boy. Everybody's equal.
All right. So,
So it's 1-1.
Wow.
Do we have to be you guys, or can I bring a woman in?
Oh yeah, bring a woman in. Yeah, this is just
Woman comes
theoretically.
in.
This is not us,
she's-
by the way.
She's got a bad yeast infection. It keeps
Ugh,
coming back. But her lymph nodes are really swollen in her groin. They really hurt and they bother, and she feels kind of tired and crappy. And this has been this yeast infection. I've used all the yeast medication. It doesn't seem to go away, and it just keeps going. It's burning. It's bad.
I know this one.
Okay.
Because I know someone who has it. I think.
It will. If she waited long enough, it would go away.
Right.
Oh, this is
Her boyfriend had something like this had a red mark that he kind of said
rabies.
Kind of said hurt. It was on his penis. I don't remember. He didn't really show me. I don't know. He didn't really think anything of it. But he had the same thing on his lymph nodes.
Hold on. Let me text someone really quick and ask them what they have. No, I know this. I know it. I know exactly what it is. And it's
gonorrhea.
No. Shit.
It's an easy one.
I know it is. Because it's not like life-threatening.
No.
It's
chlamydia.
No, it's
one of the classics.
HPV.
No, that's usually you don't know you have it. Causes abnormal paps, can cause warts, but other people need to get their vaccines for the HPV. I've been chanting about that for years, and finally people are coming around to that. So prevent cancer, get your HPV vaccine.
Maybe they'll sponsor.
But
Say what?
This is also a virus, and people are struggling to create a vaccine against it.
And it's not rabies, huh?
It's herpes.
Herpes, that's it. And yes, I was thinking of the mouth.
No, but
No, you weren't thinking of anything.
No, I was. I was
It
thinking
can
it was
be in the
something
mouth.
that could be on the mouth
Yes,
because,
you're
like,
right,
there
you're
have
right.
been celebrities who have the sores and stuff on it, and then you think,
All right.
herpes. All right, tied. So we need a tiebreaker. We need to get one.
do you want me to go obscure? I mean, do you know obscure STDs?
I'll
and
try
things?
obscure.
Probably. I don't think we know obscure.
Yeah.
I don't know much about vaginas in general.
Oh, hush, dude.
Okay, this is let's try this. You won't know these.
I'll try.
Okay. I live in a tropical area, and I've got this shaggy ulcer on my penis, and these huge lymph nodes developing, and this ulcer had not gone away. And it is. I can only describe. It doesn't really hurt, but it kind of does. But it's looks like a giant clam on my penis. It's nasty looking.
Gout.
It's called chancroid.
Gangrene.
Chancroid.
Okay.
Shankroid. I want to get that.
No.
Shankroid. That sounds crazy.
Okay.
All right.
Let me think here. We're going through the classics.
Yeah, we are
We're
going through the
scrolling
classes. There's
the-
got to be one more that we don't have.
They're obscure stuff that happens. Let me think here. I like a little anal play. Put that on a loop. And I've noticed these sort of skin tags around my anus there, and they seem to be getting more of them.
Anal warts.
There it is.
Boom. Touchdown. I saw this girl in Nebraska had them. Touchdown, bro.
That's associated with anal cancer too. So everybody get
Are
your
they
vaccine.
really?
Yes.
Oh, Margaret Ann, then, if you are listening, I didn't even tell her about him, but I saw him, and you probably need to get brushed up. With guest Farrah Abraham talking about Dr. Drew.
We had Dr. Drew on this show. He came in and I feel like he said some things like about
strangling people, being violent. I kind of am not about that anymore in my career.
So did that upset
that.
you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just because on one of my other shows, Celebrity Big Brother, literally it was like a legal situation and people threw chairs at me, tried to beat the shit out of me and thought it was pantomime. And they brought it up beforehand. So I could only imagine if I go into work with Dr. Drew and he strangles me, then he's like, oh, I talked about it earlier. It was just all pantomime. And it's just kind of like a real situation with me. I know that that's totally weird probably to hear, but it actually happened to me. And I had like lawyers and they got detained. They couldn't go back into the country because of this. And then they lied. So that's just why I bring it up. And I don't want to work with people like that anymore.
Have you spoken to him directly?
No, I haven't. He has my number. If you want to say hey, he can shout out.
But you want him off the show?
I mean, he doesn't have to be off the show. They can just bring in a different host while I am on the show getting interviewed about my real life personal questions. They can have someone who can act like they give a shit.
So with Dr. Drew having said what he said, do you trust Dr. Drew?
I don't trust someone who jokes around. And I think there was something said of like Farrah just wants attention or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that is one's own opinion, and he was on the show. Like, he was furthering press. Like, I'm furthering press right now. I'm going out right now. I have nothing to hide. I'm getting ready for Teen Mom the next season. So if I choose to come on shows, if I choose to come on your guys' podcast, it's probably for those reasons.
Right.
but I'm not here to talk about strangling or
But were you personally
acting like someone else needs press, not me, deflecting that when I'm here. I don't do that.
With guest Mark McGrath talking about his best moment.
looking back at your days
Yeah.
in the partying days and whatnot, looking at the positive side, is there a story that pops out to you like we tell stories or something that you remember as I can't believe this fucking happened to me story?
Yeah.
Like of something of the rock star life, something that pops in your head.
God, it's funny when people go, "Hey, what's the craziest story?"
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna tell you because it's gonna make me
Right, it's too
insane.
much.
People are gonna go fucking jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have more of my stories are like what great memories I had, and that were surreal.
Yeah.
Right.
We opened for the Rolling Stones in 1999. Okay, every morning was #1 on the charts. Okay, and I'm singing every morning, and like the Rolling Stones audiences are a little difficult. They're like Metallica audiences. They're not looking for a band to open for their heroes.
Their lords, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so it took us a while to get them going, and they're kind of like, what's these douchebags doing opening for the Stones? But we were breaking them down. We had a couple hits. We had Fly, we hit them with Fly, and then we hit them with Every Morning, which was #1 the week we opened for the Rolling Stones. And so I'm doing the song, we're winning over the audience, and I look over, and there's Mick and Keith watching. And just, like bobbing their heads along like that. And I just go, this is the most surreal moment. And I don't think it's going to get any better than this right here.
Wow.
And it never did. I was fully aware of it at the
And it
time.
never did.
And so that was an incredible moment.
With Saturday Night Live's Sherry O'Terry.
I was a child and a little scared.
Yeah.
There's no reason that a child should not, see, know, and exist with, among.
Right.
Well, that could be said about a lot of things. That's why people don't like gay people because they just don't know them.
Exactly.
They think it's
Exactly.
something else.
But I love that TLC. I love what TLC is doing with their programming and introducing. Even like you look at the Duggars, you have to make sure you have to do your own background check, and you have to think, what do I want? What's going to get out there? What may get out there? But I just love that family so much.
Well, now he's got a spread with his new wife on People Magazine this week.
Who?
The guy.
Roloff?
Is it Roloff? Yeah. Didn't he just get married?
Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got married to a full-sized woman, and it's
No, that's the son.
Oh, that's the son?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the son. The last episode I saw was the son was planning his
Luke.
Luke? That's the one.
Is it Luke? Wait.
Who's the son, Andrew? Do you know the son of the Roloffs?
I don't know.
You can look it up.
No, Lucas is
Zach.
the
There's
Zach. There's Zach.
Zach's the smaller
That's the one.
brother.
And Lucas is the brown-haired one, the younger boy.
And the girl
then there's
is
Mary,
really cute.
right? Mary, I think her name is, and then like the other twin brother. How hot is that guy? He's like an Abercrombie and Fitch thing.
Know.
Yeah, the Roloff kids. I mean, I
There's
always
twin
thought the
boys.
kids were
One's
great.
regular size and one's
Oh, really?
a little.
And they're twins?
Yeah.
I always thought the kids were great. I always thought
Oh,
the
I
kids
love
seemed like
the
really
kids.
well adjusted.
Yeah, and I think because of their parents.
And they ran a pumpkin farm, man. I gotta ask, are you someone who loves to drive? Drive? Are you someone who just plain loves people? Like, a people person? Are you planning an exotic vacation for next summer and you need to fund it? Are you seeking alternate funding for your new startup or second business? Well, I've got an idea for you. It's a smart way to earn extra money and get an extra $500 bonus right now, driving with Lyft. That's right, driving with Lyft. You can drive in between jobs if you're just looking to earn extra money, if you're looking to put more money in your kid's college fund, if you're going back to school yourself and you need another degree or even your first one like me, if you're writing the next great American novel and you're looking for inspiration, drive for Lyft. There are other ride-sharing apps out there, but Lyft treats their drivers right. It's a flexible way to earn extra money anytime from nearly anywhere. All you need is a car. And Lyft drivers can make up to $35 an hour. And get started? It's easy. It's easy to get started. It's just a tap away. Plus, Lyft drivers can earn tips right through the app. Those add up fast. Fast tips. It all adds up. Driving with Lyft is super flexible, allows you to keep 100% of your tips, and is always there when you need the extra cash. And right now, Lyft has a special offer for our listeners. You'll get a $500 new driver bonus after you complete 100 rides within the next 30 days. That's easy. Go to lyft.com/Theo, Theo, today so you can start making extra money and get your $500 new driver bonus. That's lyft.com/Theo, Theo. Lyft.com/Theo. Limited time only. Restrictions apply. Now, back to the episode. With guest Ross Matthews auditioning to be a slave owner.
All right, gimme.
We're getting close here.
I just want to know what you Google searched to get this line.
Oh, now it's all on me.
I want to know what you put in was.
I put in best slave owner movie lines. And the sad part was there was already some things that were purple that were kind of highlighted.
All right, go.
Okay.
This is my line reading, my audition. Okay.
For the color purple 2.
Okay, so
Purpler.
Shit just got purpler.
do this. Just take out the last word, but do that one right there. Just take out the last word. You have to be a real slave owner now, Mr. Matthews. And I'll be the slave. My name's Lilac, sir.
I don't even know.
Name's Lilac.
Lilac, you want to survive, you do say as little as possible. Tell no one who you really are. Tell no one that you can read and write, unless you won't be dead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Woo. Am I free, sir?
Do you want a little more dramatic, Mr.
Yes.
Spielberg? Ready?
Yes.
What's your name again?
My name's Lilac, sir.
Lilac! If you want to survive, do and say as little as possible. Tell no one who you really are. Tell no one that you can read or write, unless you won't be dead.
Yeah.
Are you Mr. Ed?
Yeah, I did channel. I'm in like a little part Mr. Ed.
Gilbert.
Wow.
Honestly, what do you think?
I would have loved to have seen actually.
I think that would be great if you were in a movie where you played like kind of like the gay captain of the Underground Railroad.
Let's
kind
try
of
that.
way.
It's so dark in here. A little lighting?
Do they have first class seats or what?
Upgrade.
Which way to the food cart?
Oh, Harriet. Quiet. I love her. She's talkative, but I love her.
You got to change that last name. Anybody who has Tub in their last name.
Tubby.
Tubbs, get over here. All right, this just went off the rails. No pun intended.
By the way,
off the rails.
A true American hero. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
I've got it.
I got one last question
I'm
as
going to
well.
change.
With guest Jerry O'Connell talking Scientology.
For those who don't know, I did a spoof of Tom Cruise's interview for Scientology. He did an interview for Scientology talking about the benefits of Scientology and stuff.
Using
and
vocabulary that people didn't understand.
it was a little crazy and talking about world leaders and stuff like that. And we pranked it. It's out there. You can look at it. It's on Funny or
hysterical.
Die.
We'll post it.
It was really fun. And, you know, his laugh was
Yeah, the
something we
laugh.
pranked. Like, and we had a lot of fun with that. And I have not run into him. I saw him at one event, and I hid.
You did. You did.
I had to be at the event. I hid for as long as I could, and then when it was like time to disperse, I literally I was the first to valet.
That's smart.
So I'm just I'm sort of avoiding any sort of
That's awesome.
any sort of I don't think there'll be a confrontation, but it's just I don't why poke that bear?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, and that is.
I mean, it
an
was
intense
fun.
Bear.
You know, it was rude what I did. You know, I mean, it was just.
No, it was fun.
That's why people
It's
love
fun,
you,
yeah.
though. That's what we're talking about.
It was rude, and I know I'm going to be followed. And I watched that documentary. I'm kidding, but you know,
Clear, you mean?
Scientology is a weird place. It just.
Yeah.
I watched, you know, that documentary wasn't that amazing. I thought I was going to be blown away by it. I mean, I really that was like event television for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm 41, so I don't know if Scientology is like right in my wheelhouse. Like, I think if you're younger today, it's not really that big of a deal.
Right.
But like for me, moving to LA in like 98, it was like, you know, I had friends who
Went into it.
Did you ever see them again?
You know where you see them? This is a geographical thing. There is a celebrity center in Los Angeles on a street called Franklin.
Yes.
Which is a popular street because Upright Citizens Brigade is there, so I'd spend a lot of time there. There's a
Right.
bar next door to it called, I mean, I don't know if this is a plug that they want or not. There's a bar next door to it
that's a French named bar.
Right. Okay.
La Poubelle, I think.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. We would go there often after a UCB show or what have you, after an Upright Citizens Brigade show. And sorry, I just hit that mute button. I didn't do that on purpose.
After La Poubelle, it's a little late.
After a show, and I remember being there one night and seeing some of my friends who I knew, who I came out to L.A. with. I didn't come out to L.A., but we were all sort of the same time. So we were young, and it's funny. It's like the level of bars you go to. Like when you have no money when you come out here, you go to like the super cheap bars on like Melrose, like, Snake Pit or something, places where where your dollar goes a long way.
Right.
And then you make a little bit of money and then you go to the fancier bars. And then, so we were at La Poubelle and a group of them who I knew went to that place. We're in it. We're there. And it was like, oh, hey, we're all around. And there's no rules about drinking or not in Scientology. I mean, those people party,
Yeah.
So we're partying. And then afterwards, I remember it was like, hey, there's an after party. Why don't you come? And I was in it.
But that's what Scientology uses to get you involved in Scientology.
Let's go to the after party. But the after party was directly across the street at the Celebrity Center.
Did you go?
And I remember everyone was walking in the gates, and you're sort of drunkenly stumbling, and you're happy to not drive anywhere. And this is before Uber, kids. So like you'd have to wait like 20 minutes for a cab to come, or you're taking the bus at 1 in the morning.
God, I can see this.
And everyone's walking in the gates, and so a group of them all went in. And I was with my brother, and my brother was like, yo, 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 and like pointed to like the sign.
This is it.
And my brother was like, oh no, we can't do this. And they were all walking in, and they were like, come on in. And we were like, no, we're all good. And they were like, come on, man. Don't be like lame. Come on.
Come meet Willy Wonka.
The night is young.
Everybody's a Scientologist.
And my brother and I were like, stumbling down Franklin at,
wow.
at 2:30 in the morning. Like, oh my gosh, like that's it. That's how they get you.
Scientology peer pressure.
Wow, I love it.
But I don't know if it's a recruiting tactic or they were just partying. That's like rude of me to say.
No, it's not, bro. That's a recruiting tactic. That's how I use it.
Yes and no.
No, and they were having fun.
With Abby Lee Miller falling apart about going to prison.
A question about what happened or anything but you said you're scared to death to go.
When does that occur? When does that information come? I'm just trying to frame this.
I
in
have
my
no
mind.
idea.
Okay, but in the near
I'm
term,
going to get in so much trouble for talking about this.
Well, I just want to know how you mentally prepare for that. You said you had a sense of humor about it.
There's no sense of humor. It is very, very, very serious. Very serious. So my attorneys in Pittsburgh, my criminal defense attorneys, they've hired a specialist, I believe, that will prepare me for everything.
Does that mean physical violence or like lesbian overtures? What does that mean?
I think so. Everything.
Wow. Well, I don't know how one prepares themselves for that. I've never been in that situation. I can't imagine. I would imagine something that you think of every day as something that's hanging over you. So,
I guess you just focus on positive things and
just know in my heart of hearts, if I knew there were different ways to do things, I would have.
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, knowing that drama drives shows, everyone knows that. Do you think that the production company almost perpetuates this as a subplot?
I don't think the production company perpetuates it, because if the production company again was that swift and that on the ball, they would have another show that went more than one season.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, let me say. I mean, you're crying. It's very emotional.
I'm sweating a lot too.
It's
so
hot
don't
in here.
confuse those tears, because I saved those for my pillow.
Okay.
But it is very hot.
It is hot. Okay, so not tears.
Well,
a little bit.
Yeah,
it's very emotional.
I'm not upset about what you're asking me when I'm telling you. I'm upset because when I get out of here, I'm gonna be on the phone all night saying, "Why did you open your mouth? You should have said no comment."
Well,
but I also want people to know that I'm human. I went through a lot. My mother died on TV in front of everyone. My dog died on TV in front of everyone. They wanted me to pick her back up and put her in a dog stroller, and push her again 2 weeks later after she was dead.
What?
Yes. So, I've been through hell.
You have been. Well, then let me ask,
And there's been good things. There's been wonderful things. I've been to Europe, and I've gone to London, and I've gone
Met
here
cool
and there.
people, I'm
and,
sure.
And cool people, and Neil Patrick Harris. and I've done amazing things. I've co-hosted The View.
Yeah.
And I've been judged on Dancing with the Stars, and all of those are one time because I can't be on another network because of my contract. So I've done all these amazing things. And when I go around the world and I teach a master class, I might have 200, 300, 400 kids in one class in a big hotel ballroom. And I say, did anyone start dancing because of Dance Moms? And I watch these kids' hands go up. Well, it was all worth it then.
Well, let me ask,
that's nice.
who is
That's
your
nice.
support system for you? You know, I feel like we know a lot about you as what we see on the show. But when you have these, fears or get scared, like, who do you turn to and what do you have? It's tough. I can't imagine.
It's tough. I have great friends.
Good.
Unfortunately, they're around the country. They're not here. I have some good friends here. It used to be the moms.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, until
Not
recently.
yeah.
And I don't know.
Well, you have many fans who are there for you, and you have us.
I was just in Miami 2 weeks ago, and my mom and my dad and my dog are all in the same. My dad's ashes and my dog, who was stuffed for the show, is in my mother's casket in Miami in the cemetery. That's where my mom had her studios first. Was in Miami, Florida. So they're all there, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's a Catholic cemetery. It's stunning, and that's it. So that's hard to look at when you're. Being an only child is wonderful. I would never have traded it for the world. However, when they're gone, they're gone. That's it. I don't have a husband or children or all of that I'm preoccupied with now that are my family.
I'm in a very similar situation. I was talking to my shrink about this right.
Hey there, are you writing the next great American novel and looking for inspiration? Are you seeking alternate funding for your new startup? Hey, I want to do a bakery. I need money. Are you planning an exotic vacation for next summer and you need to fund it? Well, I'd like to tell you about a smart way to earn extra money and get an extra $500 bonus driving with Lyft. That's right, driving with Lyft. There are other ride-sharing apps out there, but Lyft treats their drivers right. It's a flexible way to earn extra money anytime from nearly anywhere. All you need is a car. Do you have a car? Then you can do it. Lyft drivers can make up to $35 an hour, and getting started is just a tap away. You can drive mornings, nights, weekends, just flip into driver mode and start making money. Plus, Lyft drivers can earn extra tips right through the app. Those add up fast, and you always keep 100% of your tips. You don't have to wait days or weeks to get paid. You can cash out instantly once you've made $50 thanks to Express Pay. So if you get paid, you get tipped, cash out. Driving with Lyft is super flexible, and it's always there when you need the extra cash. And right now, Lyft has a special offer for our listeners. You'll get a $500 new driver bonus after you complete 100 rides within 30 days. Go to lyft.com/Theo, Theo, today so you can start making extra money and get your $500 new driver bonus. Lyft.com/Theo, lyft.com/Theo. Limited time only, restrictions apply. Now, back to the episode. With guest Maxim Shmirkovsky talking about Abby Lee Miller. So this is just going to go back to a Dancing with the Stars question. The guest judge, Abby Lee Miller, she's like a real cunt. That's how I like to refer to her.
I love it.
Was she gruff with you? Was she hard? Did you feel like it was fair to have a judge there that couldn't even do the things that they were judging?
I don't know what is the purpose for Abby Lee Miller's existence.
Right.
To be fair.
It's not even to help foster good things, because she's
no good things come out of that at all. I mean, she said something. I was dancing with Meryl. We eventually won the season. I feel like she felt compelled to say something of some sort of critical nature. She pointed out something at her feet, which was at that time we did a contemporary routine, and the feet were not part of my, focus. We danced barefoot even, so it was a little strange for me. And when I came upstairs, Aaron asked me, like, so what do you think about the comments by Abby? I was like, I really don't care about anything this woman has to say, and so this blew up into this giant whatever. I honestly just disregard people like this. I think she's an awful human being. I think she makes money and became famous on just borderline child abuse. And there are ways you can educate and
be positive.
Rightfully so. Maybe that's the way to push someone. God knows I had a studio since I was 16 years old. I produced tons of champions, world champions, and my brother was one of my students. So I was rough. I was not an easy teacher, but I was getting the result done. I was trying to get there. I was trying to win, but I was in front of the class showing it. Somebody like Abby, who I found out didn't even dance.
I mean, did you really have to?
It's like going.
That's kind of a given when you look at it.
It's like going to school, and I'm like, I want to know chemistry. I'm like, okay, well, I'll teach you. I have no idea what it is, but we'll figure it out together.
Okay.
With Heather McDonald talking Chelsea Handler.
Was it hard being friends with Kris and Chelsea because Chelsea didn't seem to dig Kris as much as you do?
I feel that as powerful as Chelsea was, and she was my boss and everything, I was not one of those people. However, she was surrounded by people like this who would dump other people that she was not friends with, or, all of a sudden not talk to Kris Jenner anymore. Oh my God, am I going to lose my job because Chelsea woke up this morning and hates the Kardashians for 2 years?
Right.
Oh my God. No, I was just like, no. She asked me to go. She asked all the writers to go to a Michelle Obama dinner. It was $2,500 a ticket. And I walked right into her office and I said, I'm sorry, that's a half a year of private school for my son. And I'm not,
expecting
and
you to
I'm
pay
like,
the
I'm
ticket.
not an Obama fan. So I don't care to meet her.
Right.
And I think she's a fine woman, but I don't care to meet her. And she was like, okay. Everybody else was scared shitless. They all paid the $2,500, all the other writers. They all went, and they never even saw Chelsea because she was in the $10,000 place. So the 2,500 people were in the living room, and the 10,000, I don't know.
They was at the kiddie table at the 2,500.
And it was so funny that later we put it in an After Lately episode.
Right.
And in the After Lately episode, I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not going to half a year of school. So I feel like by them being like that and other people being like that, they're underestimating, I think, Chelsea, because Chelsea was like, okay, she didn't fire me because I was friends with them. I'm just like, I go to their house every year. They give my children gifts. When my parents died, Kris Jenner was at the funeral, at my mom's, right after.
It's a legitimate friendship.
I'm sorry, this is a loyal person to me that's been really lovely. And I totally appreciate her genius. I appreciate that they got the show and took every opportunity they could with the show because they knew the show wouldn't last forever. I think they're surprised how long it's last. But in the process, they built all these other businesses. They were the first one to make Twitter profitable for themselves.
Yeah.
And thank God for that, because we've all benefited from it. So it's that's how I feel.
Well, going back to then going back to Chelsea, I mean, how much of a minefield was that? Because I was on Chelsea. I was on Chelsea once as a guest, and I'd met Chelsea at the comedy clubs and stuff like that, and she was okay at the clubs, and she didn't even look at the people that were guests at him. I mean, she was just a total.
You were
cunt.
on the round table.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She was just a total cunt, and I would notice that people were. And you would just see how people were just in fear of her on this show, in this environment. I mean, how much of a minefield was that?
It was. I lived in fear, 100% lived in fear. I enjoyed my time there. I was happy, but I mean, something could happen, and my heart would be beating, and I'd be like, "Is this it?" And then somehow I just managed to keep surviving, but not she would scream at us or anything like that, but you just, and the people that were right under her really the more, as the years went on, she wouldn't come to the meetings all the time. So the people right under her were kind of like our eyes, and were sort of the only way that she would really hear about us is through them. And that made me more nervous because hanging out with her, we always had a great time. And then, then when you'd have a weekend with her on the road or something, it was so much fun. But, and that wasn't her fault. If she doesn't have to go to the meetings because the show is running itself, then, go do Pilates or go do a photo shoot. I mean, that didn't bother me.
Yeah.
But the thing that bothered me was a little bit of that. And then since those people she's, not friends with either or working with anymore, she's doing her own thing on Netflix.
Would you go back and work with Chelsea again if she asked you to work?
And the bottom line is, do you think she's a good person?
You know what? I think she's a good person. I don't agree with how she treats relationships in her life. I think she's missing out. And I think she's missing out by dumping people. Like, I think that's kind of a shame because it's like, I don't think you need to like cut someone out completely. Like, you don't have to see them every day. But, I think, and that's the only thing. Like, that's just not how I live my life.
Fair
like,
enough.
sure, I have a couple people. I do. I have a couple people that I had to cut out, like,
yeah, but
like
she's
really
an
bad,
she's an
toxic.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
But yeah, but I think she's really funny. And when you're in her life and you're her friend, it's the greatest
funny,
thing.
The best thing.
It's the best thing ever. It is so much fun. She laughs at you. And that's like what's sad because she makes you feel so special.
Yeah.
Until
you're not anymore.
Until you're not.
Yeah.
Like, and so but then when I looked around and I'm like, it's so not personal to me per
It's
se.
everyone. So it's the way she's manipulative.
By the way, I've never shared this with anyone, so I hope
know.
you get a lot of freaking listeners for this because.